So then I moved again and again and again and again and again. You're a military kid, you can do it. STEM is actually my biggest community. Put on the human health analog, psychological and physiological deficit countermeasures and human spaceflight team.
Oh my gosh, groundbreaking research. You heard it from here first.
Cardboard, scissors, and tape held me together when my world did not.
FreedomSTEM times Home is Where the Heart Is STEM kit content coming soon.
Yes. And ever since I was a little kid, I've wanted to be an astronaut, and I'm going to build myself a rocket ship. A little sneak peek, we have an outer space STEM kit launching soon. I need money.
Hey everyone, welcome to Home is Where the Heart Is. I'm Allie, your host and fellow military kid. I'm building this community as part of my Girl Scout Gold Award project to make sure no military kid has to navigate this life alone. My goal is to create a lasting space for us to find our footing no matter where the map takes us next. This is a spot where we can connect and share advice about all the highs, lows, and messy in-betweens of life on the move. And if you're not a military kid, you're still welcome. Gain some empathy and learn something new. So, if you've ever packed your life into a box, survived your first day at a new school, or wondered what it's like to do those things, you're in the right place. Because here, home isn't just a place, it's where your heart is. Today, we have Lily from FreedomSTEM.
Hi.
And I'm so excited to talk to her today. So, Lily, tell everyone a little bit about yourself.
So, my name's Lily, or Lillian, and I am currently going into my senior year of high school. My dad, he has served 17 years in the Navy, but he served the last 6 in the Air Force. He actually just retired this past October and is now working a different job. But he's been in the military pretty much my entire life, and because of that, I've moved 8 times. I've been to 6 different schools, and so I'm very, very familiar with military life. Outside of military life, I really love science, and STEM, or science, technology, engineering, and math. And that's why I founded Freedom STEM. I recently got an intern at NASA, and I'm just doing research on the side as I continue going through military life, or I guess civilian life now, but it still feels like military life.
Absolutely. So, please tell us a little bit about FreedomSTEM.
So, Freedom STEM is a nonprofit that I founded to help bring STEM opportunities to military connected youth wherever they're stationed. So, as I mentioned, I'm a military kid, and because of that, I had to move every 2 to 3 years over the span of my life. And I had really inconsistent education because of that. And that's a problem that so many military kids face. And ever since I was a little kid, I've wanted to be an astronaut, so big dreams, big dreams. But I had to be able to pursue STEM to with my interests, but I never really got to because I was moving every 2 years and every place had new extracurriculars, new curriculum, new everything. So I wasn't able to ever be consistent with it. So my goal with Freedom STEM is to provide military kids with a stable STEM education, or at least something to fill in some of the gaps that they face from moving. So we design portable STEM kits that are shipped worldwide, and we use these STEM kits and we do on-base workshops at military bases around the US. As well as that, we're working with elementary schools now to do host workshops and even museums.
About how much does it cost to ship a FreedomSTEM kit out?
So each Freedom Sim kit costs around $5 to make, and then depending on where you live, there's also the added shipping onto that. So if you just donate $5, that's going to provide a kid with a kit and a chance to learn STEM and enjoy and fill in some of that curriculum gap. But there's also the shipping. So anywhere from $5 to $10 can help provide a kid with a kit. So donations are very much appreciated. We're always looking for sponsors to sponsor us with events that we do and provide kids with kits around the world.
Because how much does it cost for a kid to request a kit?
$0.
$0. So if you just have $5 to spare, you're giving a STEM kit to a child.
Yes.
So Lily, what inspired you to start Freedom STEM?
So, to be honest, I don't know what inspired me to start it. I came up with this idea. It almost felt random, like at the end of my sophomore year. And I tried to get Freedom Sim off the ground. I made a logo that I never want to look at again. And I tried to build a website that I also never want to look at again because you know, it was definitely in the before beginner phases. And, um, and I contacted, 2 military bases. I was actually living in Florida at the time, so I contacted, like, Eglin and, one other, and they said no to wanting to do a workshop, so honestly, it's probably a good thing they said no because I was not ready. I put the idea on pause a little bit because I then had to move back to Missouri,
Mhm.
and was at my school, and I just, like we got to, like, November, December, I'm like, I really think I need to start this. And so
Mhm.
somehow I did. I built the entire website. It took like 150 iterations to get it where it is. And then I get into January, and that's when we officially launched. And I designed a circuits kit, which was relatively simple components, but what made it special is the curriculum that we provided with it because I had 12 activities, including the simplest is just learning how to turn on a light and but the other one, you can make a reaction time game with all the lights, and it's a lot of fun.
Wow.
And started reaching out, and Sky Air Force Base wanted me to do workshops. So we did 3 workshops with them in March, as well as we presented at a STEM summit. We did advocacy in Washington D.C. on Capitol Hill, as well as state advocacy in Jefferson City for STEM Day, and um, I honestly don't know how we blew up so much by this point, but, like, I'm just so grateful that we did, and I'm really excited about it.
Absolutely, and your hard work got you there. What do you mean you don't know how it blew up? Like, you did that, girl.
I don't
Um,
know.
I think it's really interesting that this idea has been, like, in progress for so long. It just shows that good things take time. Tell us about the different STEM kits that you can order and how you can order a STEM kit from Freedom STEM.
Okay, okay. So right now we have 2 STEM kits and little sneak peek, we have an outer space STEM kit launching soon. And so if you like
Mhm.
watching the Artemis missions or anything, you should keep an eye out on my Instagram. Follow me at Freedom Sim, shameless plug.
Yes.
And um so right now, though, we have 2 kits that are available for order. We have what I mentioned before, the circuits kit, and that includes like breadboards, LEDs, jumper wires, resistors, my curriculum, and about a few other things. And that is intended for ages 11 to 18. And that one is really it's our hardest kit that we have right now, and you learn what you put into it for that one because you can just follow the instructions and, build the activities, which is super fun, but
Mhm.
you can go a little deeper and you can learn how to code with it, which is what we also teach as well in our lessons, and you can go through all of them. So that was really, really fun if you're a little bit older. If you're a little bit on the younger side or you know someone on the younger side, we have a Newton's Laws kit, and that one is intended for ages 5 to 11 and or 5 to 12 and so Newton's Law is really, really fun. So at least in the workshops we do these fun demonstrations. We have a rolly chair where we like push people off the rolly chair to show stuff like inertia. And with the Newton's Law kit, we do 2 activities. We build a catapult out of popsicle sticks and shoot pom poms, and then we build the main event, which is our Newton's cradle, which we especially designed, laser cut, we 3D printed all the parts, and it's really, really cool. Can hang these balls. We have special clips for the string to try to make it easier so there's no knots at all, and it's really, really fun.
Yeah, absolutely. So, tell us a little bit about your in-person presentations. What are those like?
Oh my gosh, those are so much fun. So, not gonna lie, we kind of wing it for our first time, but now like we got it down, and I'm really excited about
Absolutely.
it. So I'm the one who's teaching the class typically, but we have my lovely volunteers, and so Usually we go through the 3 laws, right, for the Newton's laws case. So the first Newton's law is inertia. So that means like an object that's moving wants to keep moving, and an object that's at rest wants to stay at rest. So what we do is we put a box in a rolling chair and we push it and we stop, and the box falls off because the box wanted to keep moving, even though what was under it stopped. Then we level it up a little bit, and I push one of our volunteers, and I do the same thing, and they fall off the chair. And so that just shows the same thing. The next law that we like to do is Newton's second law, and that is about mass. F equals ma, or force equals mass times acceleration. If we push a box, it's going to take a lot less force to get it up to speed than if we say you push me. So that's what we do. We push a box, and then we push me and see how much force it takes to get up to speed. And then for Newton's third law of action and reaction, we use an analogy of like you're jumping on a trampoline and it'll like push back up on you because every action has an equal and opposite reaction. And we use chair, and if you sit on the chair and you push like a table, what do you expect the table to move? Yeah, but you also move. So it's like the opposite reaction.
That's so cool, and I love how you make this so accessible for all ages, and there's something for the younger kids, and then
Mhm.
I think I need to do a STEM kit because I need
Yes,
to work
you
on my
do.
coding a little bit. Um, Freedom STEM times Home is Where the Heart Is STEM kit content coming soon.
Yes, it is coming
Um,
soon. You guys can order
um,
my kits on my website under the contact page.
yep, and I'm gonna put that in the description below, so you guys can go do that and tag Freedom STEM so she can see
Yes,
it.
tag me so I can see your photos.
Yes, we want that impact and we want that outreach.
Mhm.
Okay, so that's Freedom STEM. That's all about Freedom STEM. Do you have any potential collaborations with other military bases coming soon that you could hint at?
Yes. So, if you live in Arkansas, there's a chance we might be coming to Little Rock Air Force Base. If you live in Texas, we might be collabing with a museum, either in Austin or Houston. If you live in California and near Miramar, we have a workshop coming to the naval base there, hopefully soon.
Okay, exciting stuff coming soon. So keep an eye out for that.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna put all Lily's content in the description so you can go check her out after you finish listening to this episode. So, what first sparked your interest in STEM?
Hmm. Cardboard boxes.
Okay, explain.
So, this is actually what I wrote my college essay on.
I was actually just about to say that. I was like, is this your common app?
It's my Common
Okay,
App
go.
essay. Yeah. So, military kids, right? We move a lot, which means a lot of cardboard moving boxes. My first instance with a cardboard box, I just found this video actually 3 days ago, so I did not know about this prior. But I would just play in cardboard boxes. I didn't know this. I wasn't gonna like. I thought it started when I was 4, but no. When I was 2, I was playing with cardboard boxes. But when I was 4, I decided I'm going to use these cardboard boxes and I'm going to build myself a rocket ship. I built myself a rocket ship. It was called the Nevada because we had, spoiler alert, just moved to Nevada. Very creative name right there. And so that's when I first started pretending to be like an astronaut. Of course, I was the pilot and my brother was the co-pilot.
Of
And
course.
so that's like first got me in a little bit of like the engineering kind of like, oh, this is cool. So then I moved again and again and again and again and again. Out of that, I built a few different box forts. And so the next like major one that I built was I moved to Maryland and I built a 3-story box fort.
Wow.
Yeah. And so definitely crumbled the first few times I tried to build it, but I just kept reiterating, and I was able to get it to the point where it's 3 stories, it could hold my weight, and I could crawl through all of it. And of course, I had a doghouse for my dog.
Wow.
And my last like super major one is I built this maze. My whole goal there was to beat my cousins in hide and seek. And so I made this maze and it had secret doors and secret passages that you couldn't tell they were there. And
That's
so
so cool.
yeah, I made like a super secret hiding spot. You had to get through like 5 secret passages to get there. And it was so much fun, but, like, all in all, like, the boxes were, like, my way of teaching myself, like, problem solving and engineering when I didn't have any, like, stable extracurriculars or curriculum about that and everything, and so it was, like, honestly, like, my way to pathway to science and everything, and also it was, like, a way for me to cope with moving because, like, it was, like, the one constant I had was I would build a box for every time I would move, and yeah, one of my famous lines that in my, well, on my blogs, my college essay, my speeches that I've done is cardboard, scissors, and tape held me together when my world did not. And I think that is very true for me, because it really did hold me together as I was moving and all the places I lived were brand new.
Wow, that is an amazing story, and I only dreamed of three-story cardboard box forts. In my rocket ships, they were just my houses were just one story, so I that's amazing. I definitely resonated with everything you just said, so my heart. Fire essay, by the way.
Ah,
Stanford, here you
thank
come.
you.
How can STEM help aid military teens in finding community?
Oh, okay. So, STEM is actually my biggest community right now. You would be surprised how many STEM groups there are, but that's actually how I found community. Right now, I'm part of first robotics team, 4256, and I'm in a team of 40 people. And so right now, I'm lead engineer, and so that's a lot of fun because I get to be in charge of everyone. But that's how I found community because I'm with these people literally it's crazy to admit it. I'm with those people. So okay, January through April, May is like the season, the on season. And I'm with these people every day after school from 3 to 9, sometimes 2 a.m., Monday through Saturday. Saturdays is like
Wow.
9 a.m. to 9 p.m., sometimes 2 a.m.
Wow.
every day for like 4 months. So if that's not community, I don't know what else is because I know those people so well now. And now that we're in the off season, we meet twice a week just for a couple hours and it's just a lot of fun and I've made so many good friends out of that. I made like one of my best friends out of that. I also learned so much about science with that and because of that we're able to work really well as a team and win and go to the world championship. So
Absolutely.
that's been great, but also like you can, like, find STEM through other ways, like, example, the NASA internship that I just did, I just made some really, really amazing friends because of that, and we're still talking, and we're gonna be presenting at conferences together, and we're from all over the place, but, like, we were able to really connect through STEM and everything, and those are just 2 examples of, like, the many, many times that I've been a part of STEM communities.
Yeah. Please tell us more about the NASA internship. So what did you do there?
So, the NASA internship is, specifically the NASA Seas or STEM Enhancement or Science internship. And I was lucky to be one of the 118 selected in the US to go on site at this NASA internship. And so I was put on the human health analog, psychological, and physiological deficit countermeasures and human spaceflight team. So basically, what we did is we studied the effect of outer space on humans. And specifically, we chose to study it's a long name, I'll explain it, I promise, but it's sex-dependent estrogen modulation of mechanotransduction pathways in ultragravity environments. Basically, female astronauts, when they come back from outer space, experience more orthostatic intolerance or like motion sickness, or like we call it space or reentry sickness, is what it really is,
Mhm.
when they come back than men. And so we're like, we think it might be because of estrogen. And so we're like, we were hypothesizing, oh, that higher estrogen levels will correlate to that. No, actually, lower estrogen levels is what we decided
Mm,
on because female astronauts actually have lower estrogen levels than men because they're on birth control typically. And so we were
interesting.
doing like this study, hopefully on a parabolic flight, which we're still waiting to hear back about, where if we get it, I get to go to Switzerland. Yeah, on a parabolic flight, which is basically you're in like it's like a hyper and microgravity flight, and it's really cool. And so I get to go in like microgravity. But well, we'll be looking at females on the normal cycle, females on birth control, and men. And those we'd put those 3 groups, and we'd study like something called the visual ocular reflex, which helps us see how dizzy We look at the vestibulospinal reflex. So this is all related to like the vestibular or your balance system and how it gets off in microgravity, because when you're in microgravity, instead there's no down or up or side to side. It's just everything at once because there's no gravity. And so it really messes with your vestibular system. And then especially going in and re-entering is very hard for astronauts to get used to. So if our findings are correct and we can prove our hypothesis, it's actually going to help a lot of female astronauts in space, as well as people with vestibular symptoms here on Earth, like vestibular migraines and everything.
That is so, so exciting. Oh my gosh, groundbreaking research. You heard it from here first. That is so, so cool. So that just goes to show, if you have a passion and maybe you have an unstable academic environment like Lily, but she still found ways, she found communities, and she made her own with FreedomSTEM. Queen. What do you hope military families can take away from FreedomSTEM?
I hope that military families can take away from FreedomSTEM that STEM's not out of their reach, and also all the problem solving and thinking skills that come with STEM as well. Like military kids, a lot of them are the most resilient, adaptable, independent people you know, which they're the exact qualities that we need in the workforce, but they never get to like utilize those because of the lack of education and continuity that they receive. And so I hope that FreedomSTEM can help bridge that gap some more and give it to them. And I hope that military families can, start realizing that we are a resource that's available out there, and I hope we just want to help so bad, and you hope that they utilize us. Yeah, hope that the kids, they can get all the joys that come with STEM, like when you first figure out something or you build your first thing, it's so much fun, but it also teaches you such important, not only technical, but life skills.
Absolutely. And that is something that I hope every military family can take away because, like you said, we need this generation to go out there and be valuable assets and help people, which is so
Yes.
exciting. Like you. Okay. Hmm. Now we're going to go into a little bit more about your military background. So,
Mhm.
even though you're not retired, I still definitely think you're considered a military kid,
Yeah,
considering your
I
whole
still consider
childhood was
myself a
military.
military kid.
Yeah, as you should. So,
Yeah, we haven't even been out of
what
the military for a year yet, so
right, exactly. So, what was your hardest move?
Ooh. Honestly, it was my shortest move, and that was from Missouri to Florida. Actually, so because of this, like, reserves, my dad got from the active duty Navy to the Air Force Reserves, but he was also working a second job while doing the Air Force Reserves. So we were actually
Mhm,
moving between Florida and Missouri for the last 6 years.
mhm,
And so it was like not consistent in either place. And so it was really hard because like I had friends in life in Missouri, and I was doing actual virtual school in Missouri from Florida. I know I was missing out on so much here, but then here, like I just didn't have friends and I was like lonely. I finally made friends at the end, but then I moved back to Missouri and I would be out of contact with these friends. And so it was just
mhm.
hard because I was like almost in this in between of like moving around so much that like I didn't like have a place anywhere.
Yeah, and that is also so hard. It's a different type of hard, but everyone I can't imagine, like, just knowing you're missing out and you finally settle in and then you move back and then it yeah.
Yeah.
What's your biggest piece of advice for people who move?
Take advantage of every single opportunity given to you. I know this is probably something that everyone has heard before, but you have to put yourself out there. Don't just expect that things will be handed to you. Apply, 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 apply yourself to everything you can around you. Apply yourself to your friendships. Like you go pursue those. Apply to like actual like programs and stuff. Like that's how
Mm,
I got into NASA. I got rejected my first year, but because I reapplied, I was able to go back and do this. Apply yourself with school and go out and get the grades that you want and try to learn even though you are in a place with a new curriculum. It's not easy. It's so hard.
mhm,
But you're a military kid, you can do it, like
mhm,
you've had to face so many challenges in life that so many other kids have not had to face, and because of that, you are strong, you're resilient, you're independent. It's hard, but, like, you gotta get through life sometimes and, just push through and take the challenge head on.
Absolutely. Please take Lily's advice. I endorse this. If you could go back and talk to your younger self, what would you say?
Ooh. I don't know, I feel like I've gone through so many stages of life even though I'm only 18, like okay, sorry, feeling 18 feels very weird to me right now. It really depends, like, on which stage of life that I was in, because, like, there's
Okay.
some stages where I needed to hear, like, "You need to keep going, you gotta keep doing this, you gotta keep pushing," but there's also periods in life where it's just, like, slow down and see the good around you and everything.
Situational. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Lily, outside of FreedomSTEM, which is that the most time-consuming thing that you do? Maybe besides robotics
Yeah,
season, like you
besides
said?
robotics, yeah, but honestly, like, I'm not in, like, on season for robotics, so Freedom Sim is
Right.
definitely the most time-consuming thing that I do.
And so where else do you spend your time? Do you play any sports?
So I do not play any sports except robotics because it's totally a sport.
Oh, yeah.
And but I play instruments. I play like the piano, the flute, the ukulele, the guitar. I sing. I
Oh, okay.
songwrite. I do a lot of like music with stuff like that, and I just love to do that. I also I'm editor in chief for Bloom, which you've probably heard from Allie's previous amazing podcast.
Mhm.
And so it's a program of the National Military Family Association, and I'm also a military team leader for the National Military Family Association. And because of that, I've gone to like speak at the Purple Star USA conference, the Military Interstate Children's Combat Commission's annual business meeting, and my life is mainly centered around like military kid stuff like Freedom Sim Bloom and NMFA, our military team leaders, and then STEM, which is like Freedom STEM and also robotics and NASA, and then just like I'm pretty artsy too. So the music, I also like make art. I do ceramics and stuff.
Wow. Look at you. You're such a Renaissance woman.
I love that.
That's so cool. And I love how a lot of the stuff that you do isn't dependent on where you are, but it can be done like wherever you are from your
Yes.
which just goes to show even if you move every single year, you
Yes.
can still find
Yes.
activities to stay constant.
Yes.
Thanks for listening to Home is Where the Heart Is. I'm Allie, and I hope today's episode reminded you that you're not alone. We're all in this together. If you want to share your story, email me at thatmelteen@gmail.com or find me on Instagram at thatmelteen to stay up to date in our community. If you're listening on Spotify, please rate the podcast. And if you're watching on YouTube, interacting with this video helps us reach more kids like you. Remember, home isn't just a place, it's where your heart is. Bye!
Bye.
Yay!
Yay! That was so fun.